This video was sponsored by Enhance, Elbilmek, a bit planner, Kempower and Bilkomponenter. Yo, what's up? Today we're going to do a side-by-side comparison between Polestar 3 Performance and Nio EL8. These are not poor man's cars, no. These are premium or even luxury cars. So the Polestar 3, well, I think it's technically called Polestar 3 Long Range Performance. It cost over $1 million NOK with all the equipment here, roughly 100,000 euros. EL8, depending on if you go for bus, battery rental or not, then you can, if you go for no bus, buy the whole battery, right? It will actually cost around 950k or less than $1 million NOK. Yeah, to put that. It depends what you go for equipment, right? And then if you rent it, it becomes cheaper and then you get the battery swap. But okay, so these are similar price cars. They have similar weight, very similar. It's freaking big and heavy cars. But there are some key differences because here, 23 banana boxes, 28 banana boxes, 5 seats, 6 seats. And then as for power, the Nio is more powerful. It's faster, 0 to 100. On paper, the Nio is a lot better. It's quieter also. It's the quietest car I ever tested. But maybe you don't want a big 6-seater with executive seats with massage in the back and a fridge. Maybe you want Swedish quality. And well, okay, as for sound system, this has the Bowers and Wilkins. Here we have, I don't know, no name, but then Dolby Atmos. So we're gonna test everything now. If you want the expensive family car, which car is the best? Let's try. First, let's check out if they have frunks. In the EL8, there is just a bunch of car stuff here. Okay, you can fill the washer fluid here. There's a cover here that doesn't seem to be, supposed to be opened by the customer. So, I mean, it's all-wheel drive and it's electric. There is no need to have so much car stuff here. But this is not the latest and greatest from Nio. You have the Nio EL8, which is a massive frunk, but not here. What about in the Polestar? In the Polestar 3, we have this safety latcher there. We actually have a frunk. And guess what? It has okay size. Well, okay, maybe not the biggest. Actually smaller than a typical Model 3 frunk. Way smaller than Model X or Y. But I mean, it's still okay size. You could put your charging cables here or some backpacks. Something else, yeah. And then there's a lid, which usually indicates that it has been poorly sealed. But okay, at least it has a frunk. So there, Polestar wins. Wait, hold up here. Why do I feel like these big executive cars, they have long hoods? Let me measure here. From here, roughly, to the front here. 125 centimeters in the EL8. What about the Polestar 3? Roughly 128 centimeters. I think last time I measured 130. It depends on my mood, right? But yeah, so the Polestar, at least the way I measure from here, seems to have a couple of centimeters longer hood than the EL8. So maybe that's why we get more space in the EL8 versus the Polestar. And in the Polestar, we have nice Swedish design on the rear. And then open the trunk. All right. For a car that is 4.9 meters, the trunk here is kind of small. We have this Volvo style opening here and then a well down here. But yeah, I measured before, the trunk here is not that big. But everything in the Polestar here looks nice and sturdy. Just look at these massive securing hooks, metal, spring loaded also. Yeah, I can feel it. The quality feel here is great. 12-volt outlet there. And then you can also squat the car to go lower. It will be very nice. Yeah, and then here we have the anhagerkopplung. It's fully automated. Nice. Yeah, very practical. Wait, is it done? Okay, retract it. Wait, I'm not sure if I pressed it too fast. Okay, now let's try again. Retract it. Super useful. And the Polestar can tow slightly more than the EL8. We have straps here for securing some cargo, you know. Okay, here we have a nice well. Yeah, the cables here could go in the front actually. Then it's easy accessible. And then this thing just feels massive and heavy. It cannot be removed. And then we have the partial shelf. Yeah, all good. In the EL8, button is there, up there. It's supposed to have kick sensors. I haven't figured out where it is, you know. Finding the kick sensor in cars is like finding the G-spot in a woman. I don't know where it is, man. But okay, here we don't have that much space because the third row is up. We have a little lid here for some cargo. But you can do this. Proper luxury. Well, except for that Tesla Model Y Uniper, they also have this fully electric folding and upfolding mechanism. But now you actually get massive space compared to the Polestar 3. But you think that because Nio is a Chinese brand, well, what the heck is Polestar then? Then it's just some cheap Chinese design here. Well, you still have okay hooks here, but I feel like the Polestar looks nicer and sturdier. You could probably tow a little car behind that hook versus this, right? We have 12 outlet there, great. We have some, what is it? There are hooks here for grocery bags. And then the lid under here reveals slightly more space. Not that much compared to the Polestar. You can take out this lid though, which is great. Subwoofer, is that in here? And here we have buttons. Yeah, you can also squat down here. And then, wait, is it not squat? Do I have to hold it? Not sure why it didn't react. And then here for maximum cargo. Okay, I'm not going to have a car seat over there. But yeah, you can also maximize the cargo space here. And then you are now poking into the third row here. See, there's a cup holder, USB-C, and some adjustment there to get out of the third row. But overall though, okay, I mean, the feel here is still nice, but I get kind of like Tesla feel over it. Maybe not the best fit and finish in the back here. I feel like Polestar just looks, I don't know, it feels and looks more like a German car, right? The design and the finish and the ski opening there, but we don't need the ski opening here, do we? We just poke the ski here. So in that regard, okay, space, then the Nio should win, but more like fit and design and stuff. I feel like even the Polestar is better. And this is coming from Nio, Bjørn. So now I'm gonna measure the trunk between these two cars. So I'm gonna teleport between them now to speed things up. Okay, the length here in the Polestar, 102 centimeters, 123 centimeters, height 67 centimeters, 73 centimeters in the opening, but further in, it's 81 centimeters. Loading height in the squatting position, wow, 71 centimeters, that is very good. 75 centimeters, still good. Everything about 80 centimeters, not good. Okay, in the EL8 now, I moved the car seat away. What if I try this max option here? Because the executive seats here, they cannot fold. Huh? Is that it? Yeah, it goes more forward if I push it manually. What the heck? You guys need to update that feature. Look at it, I can go way, way more forward now. But in the Polestar, you could just fold the seats like most other cars, and then you get pretty good space. And now we try again, the showdown. Okay, so behind the driver's seat in the Polestar, I have 197 centimeters. Oh, what about in the Nio? 155 centimeters. Oh, and then it's the same for this side. And in the Polestar, behind the passenger seat, we have freed up more space. We moved the passenger seat all the way forward. Then we have 215 centimeters. Polestar wins. In the back seat of the Polestar, we have width, wow, 140 centimeters. Seating height though is not that great, despite it is a big, tall-ish car. Huh? Only 32 centimeters. It's like, It's like sitting in a Tesla Model S. Yeah, so you sit more up like this, but actually quite good leg room here. Right, I like it. You can put your feet under the front seat. The front seat has been pushed kind of forward, but okay. We have pocket here and good seat comfort in general until we try the Nio. But okay, also have middle console there. Alright, you can put your cups there. What about your phone? Oh, you can charge your phone. USB-C, 2 of them here. We have adjustment for HVAC here and also seat heater. Good, great. And then manual adjustments here. And then the ski opening, like I mentioned, you just fold the whole thing. How is this again? Yeah, I forgot. It's an opening here. You open the lid, and then come on. Okay, I struggle a bit here. I'm not sure why I can't open it, but there's a ski opening there, but it's kind of small. And headroom here is actually okay. You see, this glass roof extends far enough so you can actually get this headroom. So more than a fist of headroom. That is good. Seems like they just made the seat lower so you get enough headroom, but then it compromises on the leg comfort and the seat height. Bowers and Wilkins. And then you open the door. Yes. There, nice speaker grill. Door closing sound though. It's okay. We have even air vents here. Nice. Coat hook there. Button for light here. Look at the Polestar. Soft close. But the EL8 is technically in a different league because the Polestar is 490 centimeter and the EL8 is 505 centimeters. So it's 15 centimeters longer. And in the back seat here, I'm gonna measure the width. It's not fully comparable because here we have only 2 seats in the second row, but the way I kind of measure it, we have roughly 145 centimeter width here. So it is better than the Polestar in that regard, but when it comes to the seating height here, oh yeah, this is a lot better. 34 centimeters. Wow. Yeah, you sit more comfortably, but what you can do here is adjust the seat maybe a little bit forward and still get okay leg room, and then you can recline. And look, soft close. And this EL8 is equipped with this executive seats. So you have this center console here, and then if you press and hold here, you also have a little fridge, and you can change the setting in the fridge either on this screen or on the screen in the front. Change temperature. You can have it to cool down to 0 degrees Celsius or heat it up also to around 50 degrees Celsius. But the seat here, now that we are in the most back position, then we cannot recline more. Then you have to go more forward. But then you can do this, and it has plenty of adjustment. Now you can go more back, and then you can also take up this, how is this again? There, the footrest. Okay, maybe I should take off the shoes now. You don't want to keep your shoes inside your house, right? This is like your house. Look at that, and there's also a button to go into the 0 gravity mode. Then the seat forward will adjust a bit, and then the seat here needs to wait for, okay, there, and then wait, now it won't, huh? Okay, it needs to audio. It has preset to go into the 0. Wait, is it 0 gravity? Really? I would probably want to go slightly more forward so I can recline more. Oh yeah. If you are a Chinese businessman, you want to be driven. But okay, headroom here is just plenty. But oh, interesting. Here, the glass roof here doesn't extend all the way there, so you can't utilize it. You're bumping into the, I don't know, the edge here. So, but what if I want to go more in the regular position? Can I just recall and go back to the normal position now? Okay, I'm not sure. Okay, whatever. The footrest, we can also retract it there. Okay, now in the more normal seating position, we still have a fist of headroom. Very good. In Nio, we have Isofix hooks there and there. There is no lid here, but it's still fairly well exposed compared to other cars like Tesla, where you have to finger in there. And the Nio actually have Isofix for the third row also. So you could technically put 4 kids in here. And I think I tested it before. Well, I'm not going to test now, but you can actually put the Isofix foot in here. And it fits. The only problem is that if you put 2 in here, how the heck are you going to access it? You have to, you can access via this maybe, right? But that means that you can't, I mean, technically you can put 4 in here, but it becomes really hard to access them. So maybe you can use the 2 back and then 1 front and then leave 1 open so you can access it. Yeah, otherwise it becomes quite impractical, or you have to remove the car seat every time you want to access some of the other kids. And the EL8 does not have Isofix in the front. In the Polestar 3 we have these lids. Very practical, except for that, well, then you have to put the lid somewhere. I prefer where you have a lid that stays there. Right? So usually I just put it here maybe, but then it tends to rattle around when I drive. But the Polestar 3, unlike many other Polestars like Polestar 2 or even the Volvos, they have Isofix in the front, but the Polestar 3 doesn't have it. And now we test how much space we have. So here we put the Cybex Sirona T in the back seat. I'll be sitting in the front, and then I need to adjust it so that the seat here doesn't crush the child seat. Whoa, that is actually very good. Wait, is that? Are we rubbing it? Yeah, okay, we are touching it now. Whoa, I have plenty of leg room here. That means I can go forward quite far until I feel like the leg comfort is still good, like now, and then I can recline. And now let's see how far can we recline now. Wow, wow, look at this. There maybe. Yeah, okay. This is excellent comfort. And now we try the same thing in EL8. Then I go all the way back until we don't crush the or touch the there. Oh, go a little bit back. There. Wow, still plenty of leg room. And I can even take down this. Huh? Oh man, this is business class. Okay, and then I go more forward till I feel like I have okay support, leg support. But it is in a kind of weird position. I think I usually want to be more laid back, but okay, whatever. Yeah, it becomes more natural when you recline. Wait, are we touching it? Oh, we are touching it. There. Wow, still very good comfort. However, I feel like maybe it's roughly the same. Or maybe I need to take up this leg support maybe just to get an impression of how it is with cars. But you see, I tend to get slightly better leg room if I use the more conventional seating. In that case, we're gonna go actually a little bit more forward if we don't want that leg support. And then we can recline even more. There. No, actually a little bit more. There. Whoa. Okay. Here, I think it's a tie, roughly on the same level on both cars. Interior in the Polestar. We have the Bowers & Wilkins speakers there. Instrument cluster here. These stalks actually, they are the same as other Polestar, but also the Volvo. For example, the Volvo EX30, the poor man's Volvo. You also get the same cheap stock. So you would expect that if you go for something premium / luxury, you get something nicer, but no. And then we have some buttons here. Not all of these has any functions yet. Steering wheel is great, okay. Some manual adjustments here. Door opening, same as the back. Soft close here also, of course. And then we have this vertical screen. Many car manufacturers nowadays, they more and more go over to horizontal screen. But Polestar still keeps the vertical screen. Yeah, small thing here, bonus. So we have Spotify, sending data, loading data from China. Wait, why is it so slow? Huh? What the heck, man? Okay, whatever. But here, it supports, something went wrong. Oh no! More problem with the Polestar, just kidding. But you see, it actually supports Thai letters. Very nice. And then center console, freaking piano black all over the place. Shit. We have this bridge, well actually it's not the bridge design, it's more like open design here. Okay. No 12-volt outlet though. And then a medium-sized center console. Very comfortable seat. And we have the breadcrumb collector here. And then we have also since this is the performance, we get the Swedish gold seat belts. Headroom in the front is just plenty. And the Volvo has massage. There's a button here, you press it with the adjustment, and then this pops up, and then you go to massage. But then it just says way A, B, C, D, E, huh? Which one is it? Oh, okay. Well, you don't see which type it is until you click on it, so that's kind of clumsy. And then start. It will run for 20. Oh, that's nice that it tells you how long it will run for. And the massage is great, just like other Chinese cars. And we also have head-up display. However, it doesn't show that much information. It's just the speed there and the speed limit. I'm not sure you can see it there. Yeah, now you can see it better. Let me show you something funny here. If you go to the car here and then driver adjustments, and then you want to adjust the steering wheel, and then you adjust it here so it gives you instruction. But look at the lag. Why is there a 200 millisecond lag when you adjust it? Do we have the same lag in Nio? But here, when you adjust the side mirrors, okay, you have to choose whether you want to adjust the left or the right, but you always use this side of the steering wheel. Then it is better. I was too slow, so then it is better. Okay, but that's kind of clumsy. I mean, this actually works like Tesla. Now you adjust the left side, and then it doesn't have any smart stuff like EQS, where it detects that you're pointing that way, and then it automatically adjusts that mirror. No, there's no alien technology like that. But in the Nio, you go to side mirrors, and then once you start adjustment, you see you use this to adjust left and that to adjust right. This is brilliant. I mean, even Tesla doesn't have this. See, we use this side to adjust. I mean, why not? Well, okay, the problem, of course, I guess with Tesla is that they want to reserve one side for the autopilot and cruise control adjustment. They don't want to interfere because you can actually drive while you adjust. Here, though, I'm not sure what happens when you do this while driving. Okay, but now let's try now. Steering wheel. Okay, start adjustment. And then, okay. Here is more instant. See? You press it, it adjusts like it should be. I think the Polestar is sending data to China every time you want to adjust the steering wheel, that's why. But the head-up display here in the Nio is not as big as some of the AR that you find in the MEB platform, for example. See, compared to my hand here. But at least in the Nio, let me see, it's kind of hard to show you maybe. It shows more content. There, I think you see something here. I'm gonna move so you see what is floating information. You see, we have speed limit, we have current speed, also what gear we are in, and also navigation information. This is nice. And for you guys who care, the interior in the EL8 doesn't have that annoying piano finish that reflects in your face. It actually looks quite smooth. And we have these vents that, okay, you need to adjust the air vents here. You know, it's like Tesla style or Porsche Taycan style. Yeah. And then this is sending data to China. Instrument cluster here, we see most of the useful information there. The screen here though, I feel like it's kind of small. What? Nowadays you get the bigger screen and also more horizontal screen. But I mean, it's still big enough to pack lots of information. If you go to the settings, the car is loaded with settings and features. Sometimes you get lost in the tango here, lost in translation. I wish they would implement a search function like they have in Tesla nowadays. You can go to the top and then there's a search for whatever function, right? So yeah, okay. And then Here we have wireless charging pad, 2 cup holders. Not that big center screen here, I mean center console here. We have the bridge design here with some stuff under there. We have the USB-C there. And then the seats here, they seem to have not as good side support as the Polestar. It seems to be more comfortable seats, quite wide, fat, soft, plush, with a pillow here that you also find in EQS. You can also take off the pillow if you don't want it. Wife actually doesn't want this pillow. I think it's okay with a pillow. And then quite clean interior. This is the NT2 platform on Nio. And then the buttons here, they are not haptic shit. They're actually physical buttons. Okay.
I am here.
Yeah, you can use this to activate Nio also. Okay, now just, okay, cancel.
So sorry. Cannot help for now.
Okay. You can also turn off that creepy sending data to China human-like thing there. But yeah, here it's like, okay, this thing here I'm not a fan of because I feel like it's the wrong direction. You pull, I would pull this to go down and this to go up, but it's the opposite. Maybe they could add the feature where they can reverse this. Because this motion is similar to the you have down here and up here in the other buttons. But okay, button to open the door is here. What about door closing sound if you slam it? Okay, yeah. Speakers are over here roughly. So I mean, yeah, it's a different look than the Polestar. In the EL8 you can open or close this cover. In Polestar, the glass is always there. You cannot close it. And also in the Polestar, you cannot diffuse the glass like you can in some of the German cars, right? Here, no, in the Polestar, it's always like that, like Tesla style. But here you can choose if you want to cover it for not too much sun in here, or maybe in winter, it also covers a bit for the coldest weather. But here you can open the roof. They have that option if you like to have like an open feel in summer. So here, Nio has a solid win. Can you actually close the cover? Okay, it ends there. All right, okay, that makes sense. And if you try to close it, no, then you have to close the whole thing first. Yeah, that makes sense. But this kind of mechanism, at least in Tesla, was prone for lots of issues. So eventually Tesla, they discontinued this. So Nio better be confident with this mechanism that it doesn't leak or cause any problems. Yeah. I wonder if, what, did Fat e-tron also have this? Because I also know that Fat e-tron also had some leaking problems. But how thirsty are these big fat SUVs? Well, let's find out. So first out is the Polestar 3. Okay, rear tire, we have Pirelli P0 and 295, 35, 22 inches. Proper size. What about the front? Is it staggered? The front is 265, 40, 22 inch. And then in the Nio, we have 265, 40, 22. Okay, just more rubber. Still 22 inch. We have Eco Contact 6Q here with some curb rash, but I think it's non-staggered here. Let me see. Yeah, 265, 40, 22 also. So these both cars, they have 22 inches. Yeah, there's some, this press car, it gets lots of beatings all over the place here. But yeah, so okay, big fat tires, should be thirsty. Let's try the Polestar first. And here in the Polestar, we have Google Maps. Nice, it's smooth. I want to drive to here, Nebbenes and back again. Oh, we can see the chargers also. And you can, okay, if you navigate there, it will automatically preheat the battery. We're not going to do that, but okay. Oh, no, don't. Okay, so what I want to do is, if I do this, press and hold. You see, this is very nice. Okay, we have 92% now. If we go there, we'll have 85%, and then we have 79% of return. Top notch, man. Okay. Yeah, all good. Okay. And then trip meter, You have to go here. No, my bad. Where is it again? Yeah, here. Range and trip. It's not visible here. So you go to trip meter, and then we can reset. Well, current trip was is. I think just to be sure, I want to reset this since the last reset. Okay. Well, there was no confirmation. What the heck? But I also reset the current trip just to be. No, I think actually that reset automatically. Okay. But anyway, let's go. And the Polestar feels nice and comfortable. Sporty if you want it. I just set it to, well, let me check here. It has some settings. Yeah, suspension has been set to the standard, not any firm, nimble, whatever. And then, well, I can feel the heaviness of the car. These are not 1.8 ton cars. No, these are 2.7 ton cars. So yeah, if you toss it around the corners, you feel the heaviness, but it's mostly just for cruising with the family, right? So yeah, I like that. Wow, the regen is nice and strong. I enabled the strongest regen, so it has one pedal drive, proper one pedal drive. Nice. And also the seats, I feel like they hug me in the corners, or when I go on the roundabouts at least. I'm not gonna go on a track with this car. Wait, okay. Speed limit warning, yes, there is a hotkey there actually on the screen. Very nice that you can just disable it there. When it comes to the power, I'm now in range mode, not in performance mode. So when you floor it, there is this delay and then the power comes gradually. So, well, yeah, it's like you're in chill mode, right? But once we're on the motorway now, I'm gonna set the speed there. I feel like for a premium / luxury car, it's not the quietest out there. Eventually I need to measure the noise levels here. And on this test, I'll be cruising at the 93 on the speedo. That's 90 GPS speed. Don't want to go too fast because then the left lane huggers will hold me back, and I don't get consistent run. So we are using the what's it called again here? Pro Pilot. Okay, but auto steer. It's doing actually a pretty good job. And in the 1,000 kilometer challenge I tested with the other non-performance, it did not slow down in the curves. So that's good. And then here you see a nice big screen. The screen here is bigger than in the Nio, I believe, because yeah, Nio is just a bit shorter. And when it comes to the sound system in the Polestar, we have the Bowers and Wilkins. They are just top notch. So I'm playing now a playlist on Spotify that doesn't have any copyright trigger. So I also listen to other songs, right? Not just these non-copyright songs. And overall, I feel like the Polestar has better sound system than Nio. So it's just nice and crisp, detailed, well balanced, natural, pleasant to listen to. It just sounds incredible. I'm gonna listen to some other songs here, just to give you an idea. Okay, let me see. There was one more. I'm gonna let it run away. Okay. It's just every type of genre you throw at the sound system, it just reproduces it in a great way. Wow. Yeah, so awesome. And also a small detail is that in Spotify here, there's a setting you can choose the quality on the download, not streaming, but also if you download it. I'm not sure you can do that also for offline playback. But so I set the streaming quality to be at the highest. Man, this is exactly what I've been talking about. The stuff reflecting in my face there, in my face here, or other places that has reflective surfaces in different angles. But right now, this is in my face. Yeah, nice weather. 19 degrees Celsius.
France, it's 83 degrees and partly cloudy.
What the heck?
Today it'll be sunny with a forecasted high of
When did
82 and a low of 72.
I didn't activate high Google or something? What? No. Okay, 19 degrees sunny weather. Great. All right, the consumption was 201 watt-hour per kilometer and reported distance is 47.1 kilometer. Okay, I'm gonna write down everything and then we see if the Nio can beat this. Okay, in the Nio, like typical Chinese cars, there is no proper trip meter. We have here the minutes start counting as we enter the car after it locks down. And then, okay, we have some swipe option here. Well, there's current trip here. You can reset a total trip. I think that's, yeah, no, that's total trip here, not the current trip here. So this resets when you lock the car, right? And then this already counts now. We enter. So I have to get out of the car and then come back in here to reset it. But when it comes to navigation, you can do this. And then here, okay, also fairly smooth. But not that nice Google interface with the, what, do we have satellite view here? No, we don't. Okay, so same here. I'm gonna go to Nebenes. We don't see the charges here, unlike the Polestar. I feel like the Polestar navigation interface is better, smoother. No, okay, there, yeah. I'm gonna go there. Well, you saw that. Oh, okay, I went a bit too fast. It will show you how many percent you will arrive with. We have 60% now. And then it claims we'll arrive at 54, but I've seen it over and over again that the Nio estimation is usually way too optimistic. And then it doesn't show you on the way back. Well, okay, anyway, start. All right, and then I have to, clumsy, get out of the car. Freaking Chinese cars, man. They need to fix this. Look at MG, how they do it, okay. Not sure how long now, and then, okay, let's go. That should reset everything, right? There, yeah, okay, let's go. And then we can just verify here also. Yeah, it's now 0 out. Okay, let's go. Well, here I feel like the car is more boat than the Polestar, even though both cars, they weigh the same, pretty much. It's like 10, 20 kilograms difference only. But however, it is more comfortable. It seems like it's like, you know, like if Polestar was BMW, right? BMW is always a bit tighter, and then this would be a Mercedes EQS maybe. You know what I mean? It's just super comfy, and it has the dual chamber air suspension. I'm not sure what the heck that involves, but it just. It's like a floating, what do we call it, flying carpet. But it's not on the same level as the ET7. No, not ET7. ET9. Because ET9 supposed to use its AI to scan the road. And okay, now we get the speed limit warning. Hey, Nomi.
Hi there.
Turn off speed limit warning.
Okay, the overspeed alert has been turned off. Please drive carefully.
Nice. And you see, Nomi here is AI powered. So I didn't call it by the correct name. It was overspeed war, but it doesn't matter. You know, the AI figured out, okay, that's what you wanted to do, and that's what we're gonna do for you. Huh? Great. In the Polestar, it didn't work. Hey Google, turn off speed limit warning.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Okay, and now, yeah, let's say typical in roundabouts. How does it handle it? Does it do the anti-roll? No, it doesn't. It tends to go a bit, you know. So, but you can of course set it to be sporty if you like to. But I just want to have it in now the eco mode, the most comfortable. Well, I'm not sure the most comfortable, but at least the most economical way. And then let's try to hammer it. Okay, here also in eco mode, it becomes sluggish because it wants to conserve energy. So I mean, that's understandable. But of course, if you put it in sport mode, it's gonna be freaking schnell. 4.1 seconds 0 to 100. It goes like a rocket. 653 horsepower in a family car, 3 rows. Okay, and then we have Nio Pilot on. And there was no chime when you activate it. Nice! And here we have to cruise at 92 on the speedo to match 90 GPS speed. And then unlike the Polestar instrument display or cluster that seems to be unfinished, at least here we have more useful information. We actually see some status here, even navigation stuff and trip meter. You can also change display here what you want to see, and also the head-up display here shows way more useful information than the Polestar. Oh, okay, it's always tricky in daytime, but yeah, no, okay, there. Oh, you can see some stuff there, and the ride in the EL8 is just more comfortable, less noise, and also, yeah, okay, slightly more bolt as I mentioned before. But yeah, I'm gonna test the sound system. Let's see. Try again the same playlist we had in the other car. Okay, stay focused. Okay. Yeah, we can turn off that shit also. There's you can turn off a bunch of nagging here. There, okay. Now here, by default, the bass is way too loud. So I have to actually go to the equalizer and tap down some of the bass levels, and then it becomes better. Otherwise, it's just way too loud. But I mean, it's just something here that is not as good as the Polestar. Bowers Wilkins, man. No, that's some really good stuff. Okay, skip song. Skip a little bit. It still plays really nice. What about Runaway? The treble and the high tones sounds a bit too over crisp, not that pleasant, unlike the Polestar, Bowers Wilkins. I mean, it's still a nice sound system. Yeah. Wait a minute, it has a typical Chinese car behavior. Look, we have a downhill, and if you look at the power meter here, it's not that smooth. It has a bit of power fluctuation up and down. Okay, now we go uphill again, so then it needs to apply power. But it seems to have some slight fluctuation. Like, you know, like wow and flutter. It's like the wow, right? In the magnetic tape world. So it doesn't go that harsh up and down, but I can feel it because this car is super smooth in general if I drive it manually. But then the cruise control part here is just over adjusting up and down rather than just finding out how much power it needs and then just stay there or make smaller adjustments, not overcompensates up and down all the time. Okay, in the Nio run now, the weather is slightly better because the temperature has gone up, so it's 20 degrees Celsius, 1 degree Celsius higher than the Polestar run. Okay, the Nio doesn't show the watt-hour per kilometer based on a trip. You see, if we do this is for the last 10 kilometer, 100 kilometer, but we want to see for the last 46.1 kilometer. And that's actually underreporting versus the Polestar. But we can see here that we spend 8.8 kilowatt hours. We do the math now and find out what the watt-hour per kilometer was. Well, I crunch all the numbers, and we're going to do it simple. The 8.8 kilowatt hour that the Nio spent, we divide it by the 47.1 kilometer that the Polestar reported. Then we get 187 watt hour per kilometer versus 201 watt hour per kilometer. Now, that is a big difference. Okay, it was slightly better weather, it was slightly warmer in the Nio run, but it shouldn't be that big difference, right? And actually, according to EV database, the Nio EL8 is more efficient than the Polestar 3 performance. So yeah, and then in terms of range, okay, the Polestar has a bigger battery. I measure 105 kilowatt hour net capacity, And then in the Nio, it depends how lucky you are. But let's say if you get a fairly good battery with 90 kilowatt hour, I even measured more than 90. Then, okay, you get 522 here and then 481 in the Nio. So yeah, slightly less range because you have a smaller battery, but I'm actually quite surprised that the Nio is so efficient despite being such a big car. So yeah, there you guys have it. Two great cars with their own strength and maybe some weaknesses. So which car would you buy if you had to choose between these two? Or maybe you want something else, like a Model X or a BMW iX, or I don't know. Yeah, let me know. What do you guys think, huh? These two, one of these, or something else? That's gonna be for now. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you for watching and talk to you later.